and watch the step cook.
You want 17 birds? Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you want 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Yeah, I'm from the 17th.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to let you know the hurt season buckets and hats are jumping out the gym like Vince Carter. Listen, go get your bucket of hat via the Print Champs and tap into all the other merchandise we got. The beanies are on the way. Have no fear. I know that cold weather touched y'all this morning when y'all was going to work with your iced coffee or whatever you've been doing. I know you felt the hawk getting close. So the beanies is coming. Do not worry about the beanies. Shout out to all y'all, man. Y'all looked really, really good in your hurt season hats, man, at opening day, man. I couldn't be more happy to see a lot of y'all smiling faces. So we're going to keep the movement going. Let's get into some of these injury reports, man. I mean, a lot of guys got rest and they deserved it. A.J. Brown, Fletcher Cox, Graham, you know, everybody got rest today. And I'm happy for them. Landon Dickerson did not practice, got a foot injury. I don't like that. I don't like how it sounds. I don't like how it looks. Once you start shuffling people on the offensive line, that's when rhythm can somewhat get out of whack. It can get out of whack somewhat. And we already got a problem with a legal man downfield. You know, I want to have a penalty-free game from the offensive line for once. How many penalties do we have? 17 penalties, I believe, 14 penalties in 2 games, and we still 2-0. So imagine the destruction we could do to teams if we stop holding ourselves back. You know what I mean? We put up a 40-burger on Minnesota if it wasn't for all those illegal man downfield penalties. But it is what it is, man. It's really looking grim for Landon Dickerson to play in this game. I want Landon Dickerson to play in this game, but we know Landon Dickerson every now and then will get nicked up, and he will not be able to play. It's expected, man. He's a big guy, a big thumper. Physical, fast, strength, brute strength, and you know he's one of the guys. So I'm not, you know, I hope he's okay. I hope he can go. But if he can't go, I feel like we would be okay for this game. If it's not a long-term situation, I'm not really worrying about it like that. So there's the injury report going into the game, in a day and a half or whatever. But we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. But you know, this is going to be an emotional game for Carson Wentz, man. I was looking at an article from bleedinggreennation.com, and they talked about the relationship between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts while Jalen Hurts was there and when he got drafted. They talked about how Carson Wentz ostracized Jalen Hurts. Now, I knew Carson Wentz was a little insecure about having a quarterback drafted while he was, you know, supposed to be the franchise guy, but I didn't know it was to this magnitude. Now, you got guys feeling some type of way, and then you just got downright being ugly to another person. Let's read some of this stuff, man. In a year, Hurts had to endure Wentz. Hurts was treated very coldly by the guarded 2016 NFL Draft 2nd overall pick. Part of that was understandable. It's not understandable to treat somebody cold that you don't even know. It's not understandable. So it's not understandable. Since Wentz thought Hurts was drafted to be his possible successor, a stunning miscalculation. How was it a miscalculation if it happened? For a highly intelligent guy that had been rewarded with a franchise record 4-year, $128 million contract extension. That happens in the NFL. Brett Favre was brutal to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Brett Favre is the best example to say why this is possibly okay for Carson Wentz to do Jalen Hurts like that when he did it. Brett Favre is not looking like a real stand-up human being at the time, especially with the embezzlement allegations of how he is defrauding funds from the poorest state in America. Like, why would we follow what Brett Favre did to somebody? You know what I mean? And they're saying just how Rodgers, you know, was abrupt with Jordan Love. Being abrupt and being cold is 2 different things. But part of that frostiness was basically Wentz. He would huddle up with his pals, Nate Sethfeld and quarterback coach Press Taylor in the quarterback room and ignore others. You know, they said it was like you was at the cool table in high school. And it was a cool table and a nerd table. They said it was kind of like, it was segregated. You know what I mean? Someone very close to the situation put it a few years ago. Carson Wentz was the captain of the cool kids table. He treat Jalen really one of the best guys you ever meet and want to work with. He treated him like he wasn't there. Jalen did his work. He kept his head down and paid attention. The other guy wasn't about to lift a finger to help him. What all made us laugh was he just got a boatload of cash. Why was he so insecure about Jalen? The other part of the problem was everyone liked Jalen and nobody really liked the other guy. I can tell you why I think he was so insecure about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts came into the NFL. A lot of people forget this. This is why I was so on board. I don't watch a lot of college football, but I do kind of look at the things that make sense. Jalen Hurts came into the league playing with a lot of wide receivers that a lot of people wanted. You know what I mean? A lot of people respect CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people respect Devontae Smith. A lot of people respect Landon Dickerson and some of these guys that Jalen Hurts played with and had success with these guys at the collegiate level. Jalen Hurts was a Heisman finalist. Carson Wentz hasn't reached the heights that Jalen Hurts has reached at the collegiate level. So for real, if you want to be 100, Jalen Hurts was like a rock star probably walking in the door in most cases. Now, what I can't understand for the life of me is why wouldn't you just go out there and try to prove that you could be better than this guy? Most guys are insecure about other guys in the same profession as them because they know they can do the job better. They know they could do the job better. You know what I mean? Carson Wentz has had a period in his career to where he regressed. Carson Wentz has reached a height and was never able to duplicate that. Jalen Hurts is literally getting better every week right before our eyes. Carson Wentz is going to be very, very emotional on Sunday. Very emotional, man. You hear the reports where he talks about, things that he wish he could have done different while he was here. I mean, if Jalen Hurts ever has to leave this team, I don't think as much he can have to regret. Imagine coming into a situation knowing that, you're going to be a backup to a franchise quarterback. And this dude is just running with the quarterback coach and Nate Sudfeld. Where the hell was Doug Peterson at? Doug Peterson is a former quarterback in the National Football League. Why isn't Doug Peterson directing that these two guys be joint at the hip? That this whole quarterback room and quarterback coaches, why aren't these guys together, eating together, sleeping together, breathing together? And then in hindsight, you end up losing your job. And then there's people mad that you lost your job, but the whole time you was being an a-hole. The whole time you was being a cruel individual. You know what I'm saying? And this is supposed to be a guy in Carson Wentz. Now listen, nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. But I gotta kind of look at you with a side eye if you so into, your Christianity and your religion, you know what I mean? And then you talking and then you treating people like this. You come on, it don't make no sense. You got a contract extension. You knew that Jalen Hurts was basically supposed to be a developmental guy, at the time. And you could have battled him for the job. But you didn't want to battle him for the job. You didn't feel like he deserved to be battled for the job. And you took your talents wherever you took your talents, whatever the case may be. I will never hear 9 times out of 10 Jalen Hurts treated Carson Strong like this. Even though I knew that Jalen Hurts was better than Carson Strong, a lot of people in our fan base took the tone and took the tune of saying things like Carson Strong is going to be able to beat Jalen Hurts out. That's how down a lot of people in the fan base are on Jalen Hurts at one point. Now everybody's starting to slowly say, well, maybe this guy can be something, you know what I mean? Because he is showing things that you can't dispute. But, hearing things like this about Carson Wentz is really, really it's just ugly, man. It's bad work. It's nasty work. Now, Carson Wentz, don't let these people lie to you. Carson Wentz wants to come out here and win this game. He want to come out here and prove that the Philadelphia Eagles made a mistake. See, it don't matter what happened in Indianapolis. We drafted you and we paid you. This hurt a little bit more. This is probably the most important game of his life. He only got a half a snap in the playoffs. This is the most important game of Carson Wentz's life. Yes, this is absolutely a revenge game for Carson Wentz. He would love to come out on top this Sunday. He would absolutely love to come out on top this Sunday, but he's not. But he's not going to come out on top. You know what I mean? And I don't know why I feel like it's just not going to happen for him, but I just don't think he built to rise to this occasion. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think he built for it. Like, I don't feel sorry for Carson Wentz. I do not feel sorry for Carson Wentz. I mean, ugly behavior like this, it often comes back on you in the form of you being somewhere else, and then they getting rid of you there too, and now you with the Washington Commanders, a franchise who hasn't done absolutely anything in 30 years. You know what I mean? I never wanted that for Carson Wentz, but to hear that he was one of these guys, it's just disgusting to me, man. So let me know what y'all think about the comments. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about, Carson Wentz potentially or allegedly ostracizing a young Jalen Hurts when he was just trying to put his head down and do his work. Now look how the tables have turned. Now we got the keys to the car. It's Hurts season.